You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live Conversations.
All right, so we are excited to be here with Zachary Williams.
Hello.
Zach, thank you and welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So, Zach, we are excited because you are a cast member of the highly anticipated new show that is going to be premiering next week on the Oprah Winfrey Network. The show is called Greenleaf.
Yes, I am.
Perfect. How does that feel?
It's amazing. It's like a dream come true.
Yes, and you play the role of William. Now, I just want to recap for the guests at home that may not be familiar with Greenleaf. Greenleaf is a new drama about an African-American family who lives in Memphis.
Right.
And they head up a big megachurch.
Yes.
And it's about the trials and tribulations of that life and that lifestyle,
Right.
and, you know, all of the drama that comes with being part of a big Southern family.
Right.
Who is William?
William is this troubled teenage kid who comes from a dysfunctional home. There's a lot of drugs and violence that goes on there. And a way for him to kind of get away from all that negativity is by playing piano. And Oprah's character, Mavis, owns this bar, and that's where he can go, and it's kind of like a safe space for him.
And you actually do play the piano, I heard.
Yes, I do.
All right, so you come from a musical background first or an acting background?
Musical. I started playing piano when I was 4.
Wow, fantastic. Do you
Thank
play
you.
any other instruments?
Saxophone, alto.
Saxophone, alto. Wow, that's great. It's one of those things where I think when you are talented in the field of music and also talented in the field of acting, you become a bit of a triple threat, which seemingly you are becoming.
Yes, that's the goal.
We're going to play the trailer now of Greenleaf for those of you at home. So stay tuned, watch this, and then we'll get back with Zachary.
You preaching on Sunday?
Promise me you're not here to sow discord in the fields of my peace. Nice to see you too, Mama.
All right, so Zach, just a little clip for us. Tell me how you landed this role.
I received the audition information from my agent, and when I first read the script, there wasn't a lot of dialogue between William and Mavis, so I kept reading, and finally I was like, okay, it's obvious that the unspoken dialogue is what's important between the two of them. And once I figured that out, I also had to play piano in the audition scene, and having my piano background, I think that's what really got it for me.
Really helped.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Oprah herself wasn't in the audition room.
No.
But she was, I'm sure, instrumental in having you selected.
My audition was actually through a videotape, so I recorded it at home, sent it in,
And then they said, hey,
Yeah.
we'd like to call you back.
Well, actually,
everyone
there was
loves a callback.
There was no callback, so 2 days later I found out I actually booked
Wow,
it.
I'm going to give you a high five for that.
Thank you.
Nice. Wow, very nice. Now, you've been acting and performing since you were young. Can you
Yes.
tell our audience a few of the other things that you've acted in, some of your acting credits to date?
Yes, well, I first started as a singing seaweed in Finding Nemo, and then I started doing numerous commercials and print ads for the Disney theme parks and Universal and Busch Gardens, and I've done a few musicals and plays throughout school and professionally at our community theaters.
Great. I heard through the grapevine, now this is important for you at home and for anyone that is, you are 16 years old.
Yes.
And you are now juggling, or have been juggling, acting, your music,
Yes.
the castings, full-time school, and I heard through the grapevine that you are also managing to maintain a 4.0 GPA.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's very impressive.
Thank you.
And I think that's a testament, again, to anyone that's watching that is a little bit younger. Please be aware of the fact that if you put your mind to something, you can make it happen.
That's very true.
And I think it also helps to have a passion for what you do, which clearly you do.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer, the music or the acting?
And I love them both as equal. So I definitely think I can find a career in both acting and music.
Who were some of your acting influencers, if you had to pick role models that you looked up to?
Denzel Washington, Idris Elba, Lamont Rucker.
Why?
They're both, well, first of all, they're black male actors. So I really do look up to them, and from watching their performances, I'm able to grasp a lot of information.
Okay. And they've, all three gentlemen have had very successful careers.
Yes.
I assume that you can, what to continue down this path?
Yes, definitely.
Fantastic, great. What was your favorite part of filming? Now, I heard that this was filmed in Atlanta.
Right.
The show takes place, the premise of the show takes place in Memphis, but you filmed in Atlanta. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Florida.
Okay, what
Yes,
part of Florida?
Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, and our thoughts and prayers are still with all of those families affected by this past weekend. Absolutely horrendous and very, very tragic. I'm sure you've had friends back home that have really felt that in the city.
Yeah, it's been quite a rough week.
I'm sure it has been. I'm sure it has been. How was it filming in Atlanta?
It was amazing. I love Atlanta so much. It's kind of like California with the mountains and the tall buildings.
And the beautiful trees.
Yes, it's very gorgeous.
I had a chance to drive through there about 6 months ago, and I really loved it. Yes.
Yeah, I love Atlanta.
Yeah, no, it's great. What I'd like to know, Zachary, is, because I'm a little bit older than you. I'm not going to tell the audience how old I am. But I'm a little bit older than you. And the one thing I want to pick up from you, and maybe you can help me out after the show, is I need to get a little more social media savvy. So I wanted to know, of all the social media platforms out there, your Twitters, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, your Snapchats, what is your preferred social media medium?
I definitely think that Snapchat is up there for me because you're able to capture like in the moment type stuff. You know, on Instagram you might have to wait until you get to like a quiet place and make a caption or something. With Snapchat you can just record, take a picture, and it goes right to your story.
Now, doesn't it bother you though that it disappears after 24 hours?
Well,
or is that a good thing?
Well, it depends what you put on there.
Right.
But you know, definitely because you're constantly doing stuff, and once you don't want your story to be too long, you know, people might lose interest.
Absolutely. The premise, for those of you that may be new with BHL, is it's Black Hollywood Live, and what we do here is we showcase African American arts, talents, entertainment. I know you're used to watching me on global-gab, which is my network, and I gab about global issues, and definitely one of the things that is, you know, global is arts and entertainment. So I'm very excited to be here today, and I'm very excited to meet you.
Well, thank you. Likewise.
I heard that you're a big brother.
Yes.
Who do you have in the family?
I have 2 little brothers. They're 7 and 5.
7 and 5. So I've got another question for you as a 16-year-old older brother. At what age do you feel kids should be given a cell phone?
Oh, man. I think, well, that's a hard one because, I mean, my brothers and I, we're very responsible. So I think I got my first phone when I was like going into the 5th grade.
Okay.
So maybe right before middle school, because you know you might ride the bus home and you kind of get out of school earlier. So.
Were you given your first phone sort of from a safety perspective?
Yes. Yeah. I used to ride the bus home, and walking from the bus stop to home, I you know, had my phone with me just in case anything happened.
Yeah, which I think, again, you know, in this day and age, it's a good thing. I have a nephew, and he's 2.5.
Oh.
And he's grown up in this age of internet and technology. And for him, when we communicate, when we Skype, when we call each other, we Skype. And so it's just normal for him to see a person appear on the screen. And I just, for me, that's so different because I, you know, back in the day of the rotary phone, not that old, but you know what I'm saying. So it's nice to see technology advancing. Going back to Greenleaf for a moment, this is a series that was created by Craig Wright. Now, for those of you at home, Craig was also the creator of shows like Lost and 6 Feet Under. It was executive produced by Oprah Winfrey. And again, Oprah Winfrey is playing Mavis in the show. How is it acting with Oprah?
It's amazing, really. I'm able to learn from her and grow as well. You know, she has so many great ideas, and it was just a pleasure for me to just be there sitting next to her while we explore new character ideas.
Yes, and I'm sure she's very open to hearing your ideas and collaborating with you.
That's how we all collaborate with her. We just, you know, it's such a comfortable environment to just throw out new ideas, and you know, it's really, they just really made it easy for everyone.
And the series, although it hasn't even yet premiered, it has been renewed for season number 2.
Ooh, yes.
So I'm going to give you another high five for
Thank
that.
you.
So very nice.
Yes.
The filming, I'm assuming, is going to be taking place again in Atlanta. Do you know?
Yes, I'm more than sure.
Pretty sure,
yeah.
right? Yeah, exactly. Have you made other friends on the cast?
Yes, Desiree Ross and Levy Simone, we're pretty close.
Okay.
They're the only other 2 teenagers on the show, really.
So shout out to them.
Yes.
Do you find it difficult juggling the schoolwork with acting? Forgetting the fact that you're clearly a genius, right? Now, but it has to be a little bit tough.
You know, I have very supportive teachers, so right before I go and film, they send all my work with me, and luckily there's a tutor on set, so when I'm not filming, I just go in the trailer and do my schoolwork, and I have help whenever needed.
What's your favorite subject?
statistics.
Really?
Yes,
Interesting.
that was my favorite class this year.
Do you have plans to pursue that at all, or are you going to stick to
To
probably
acting and
arts?
music.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And it was a great subject to learn, so I've learned a lot in that class. I had a great teacher.
Yes, you you attended the premiere. So yesterday evening in West Hollywood, the premiere and red carpet event for Greenleaf took place.
Yes.
How was that event?
Oh man, it was amazing. Just being around so many talented people and everyone who was there to make this show come to life. It was awesome.
I'm sure the energy, just in terms of the collaboration, and it's almost one of those things like you get to the point where we have reached this finish line.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work
It was
to
like a
get there.
celebration also, yes.
Yes. I was doing a little bit of reading this morning, and I saw a few articles on the Los Angeles Times and Variety, and
cool.
so very nice. This is going to be a great one to add
Thank
to
you.
your credits.
Yes.
You are also, let me just take a minute here. Okay, you have played the piano, you said the saxophone as well. Do you
Yes.
plan to take up any other instruments?
If the time
Would
ever
you like
comes,
to?
maybe. I used to have an interest for the French horn, but the mouthpiece was kind of too small, so I didn't really take interest in that.
I have my brother-in-law plays the French horn, or he did back in
really?
the day, yes. Or was it the trumpet?
Well,
I
both
know
are
it's
brass
some
instruments,
sort
so
of
you
brass
kind of get
instrument.
yeah.
I always wanted to play the guitar, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, my dad plays the guitar.
Does he? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the guitar for me was always a nice one. Your plans after the show? Well, filming the show is over. What are your plans for the summer? Are you on any other shows?
Yes, so I co-host a TV show called Rays Rookies, and we're almost finished, wrapping up season 2. So we'll
Okay.
be finishing that in the next month or so.
Perfect. Tell me a little bit about Rays Rookies.
Rays Rookies is a kids TV show where we basically take the kids watching at home on an adventure to know everything about the Rays baseball team. You get some exclusive inside tips on baseball tricks, and we take them on a tour of the players' clubhouse, which is a fancy
Ooh.
word for locker room.
Right.
So it's
But it's a
definitely
behind the scenes type of thing.
yeah. So it's really
very
cool and engaging.
And now the Rays are based in Orlando?
Tampa, Florida.
Oh, Tampa.
Tampa,
Okay.
yes.
So you're doing that commute.
Yeah, it's about
Okay.
2 hours.
Yes.
Not bad.
Right. I'm from I've spent quite a bit of time in Miami.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm familiar with Florida. It was really funny, actually, going back to the Georgia thing. I took a drive from Miami to Los Angeles, so I drove across the country.
wow.
And I was in the car with a girlfriend of mine, and we were just yapping away and gabbing, about global issues and whatnot.
Right.
And we missed the turnoff towards Tallahassee. We ended up going north into Georgia by mistake. So note to viewers, if you're in the car, pay attention to where you're going.
Right.
Do you have your driver's license?
I have my permit.
Okay.
So
Good stuff.
I can get my license whenever I can. It's
Yeah.
been over a year, so.
Okay, great. So you just have to make the time to do
Yeah.
it. Well, I have a feeling that you're going to pass the driver's
Thank
test.
you. I've been told I'm a very responsible driver.
I suspect you're a very responsible person,
Yes.
which is good.
Thank you.
What advice do you have for your brothers?
Listen to mom and dad.
That's good advice for anybody.
Yes.
Are either one of them musically inclined?
Both of them. One has had an interest in guitar, and the other one in drums. But they're more on like the sports side. They both played basketball and football, flag football.
I heard that you were shy as a child. You're clearly not shy anymore.
Yeah,
You've come into
I
your
grew
own.
up as an only child for like 9 years. So I think once I kind of had someone that wasn't just me in the house, it was.
Opened up a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, that's nice. If you see yourself, you're projecting 10 years from now.
Living my life, doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
And that'll be, hopefully have some experience on Broadway and TV and film. I'm going to do it all.
Well, you've acted in shows in the past, The Nutcracker and productions of Annie, I heard.
Yes.
Fantastic, yeah.
Thank you.
What has been your favorite role to date?
Well, definitely William on Greenleaf, but in theater, I think I would have to say Arthur Homewood. I did Dracula this past February, and Arthur Homewood was definitely an emotional driven character, so it was really interesting, kind of becoming him.
How do you prepare for your roles? Because they are so different.
They are. I have an acting coach back home in Florida, and she is amazing. I'm able to sit down with her. We go over the script, and she just starts asking me questions about the character. And, we will do the scene and she'll say, okay, I like that. But now think of it this way, and then, you know, I'll try it, and if we like it, we'll stick with it.
Now, how did you manage to identify with the character of William, for example, that's coming from, you know, a background that isn't as financially set as yours probably is? How do you get into that mental mind space?
You know, it was definitely hard because we do have two totally different lifestyles. I don't have some of the same experiences he does, but it was just really about understanding the relationship between Mavis and William, because he loves his mother, he really does, but also having someone as important as Mavis and just really looking up to her is a good thing for him. So I just kind of had to get in that mindset of, okay, who in my life can I look up to? And, you know, just creating that sort of backstory really helped.
Has Oprah offered you any pieces of advice?
Yes. So on one of the first times we were filming, she asked me what I wanted to do. And of course I said, this is it. And she said, that's great. Keep going for what you want.
Yes.
So that was pretty amazing.
And, you know, I'd like to go back to just what you said a few minutes ago when I asked you, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And you said, well, I see myself living my life and acting. And, you know, I want to point out that that's exactly what you're doing now. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited for you, because it's always great to find yourself in a place where you really are living your own dream. And I think that's an important message, is that we as people really do have the ability to be the lead in our own drama.
Right.
And if we set some goals, and if we see the sky as being, you know, limitless, there is no reason we can't tap into that potential and really make things happen.
Yeah.
And you're a great example of that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If we want to catch more of you, aside from the Rays, anything else coming down in the fall, or will you be filming again in the fall in Atlanta? We're
hoping so. We don't know. We don't really know what's going on with
Still
season 2
early.
yet. Yeah, it's too early.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being
thank
here
you.
with us.
Thank you.
I do want to point out again, for anyone interested, that Greenleaf is going to be premiering on OWN next week. It's Tuesday, June 21st. Thank you. It's in affiliation with Lionsgate Entertainment.
Yes.
Executive produced by Oprah Winfrey and starring Zachary Williams. Zachary, if we want to catch up with you on social media, where can we find you?
On Instagram and Twitter, you can follow me at Zachary S. Williams.
Zachary S. Williams, we will be keeping an eye on your career, sir.
Awesome.
I
Thank
thank
you.
you for everything, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch up with us here at Black Hollywood Live, or Black Hollywood Live? Yes, Black Hollywood Live, my goodness. You can catch us via iTunes podcast, on YouTube, and of course at blackhollywoodlive.com. I'm your host, Katerina Cozias, here with Zachary Williams, and we will say goodnight.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African-American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.